welcome back to Man Across New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Shall we see what's going on a lovely island of Fawnhollow today? Hello phone, what do you want from me? Restart now to finish update. Your system is 7 days out of date. You know what? Fine. You want it, phone? Let's have a restart. Let's do this news phone update. My friend's always like, oh, why do you never do your phone update? It's like, I just can't be bothered, you know? Yeah, well, to be honest, it started out being like, oh, I'm not going to do it because in case there's some security flaws or something wrong with a new update, I'll wait to see what everyone else's reaction is to it and then I'll update once it's fine. And now it's just out of laziness, to be honest. I know how to roll back a phone. It'll be fine if the latest update breaks something. So anyway, hello there everyone. Right now on Fawnhallow, it's 5:05 PM on Tuesday, April 13th, 2021. Couldn't speak today. But there's no news on today. So I was thinking about what to talk about today. Which I don't often do, mind you. A lot of times it's just sort of off the cuff and we'll see where it goes. Like, you know, I could have just talked about phone updates. It's just Bad and Wonderworld. It's just taking up so much real estate in my mind for no apparent reason. And I don't understand why. Well, not I don't understand why. It's just like, it got me thinking about things. Because I mentioned this, I think yesterday. Hold on, let's see what Audie says first. Guess what, Rambler? I saw you in my dreams last night. It was crazy. So tell me, were you there on purpose? I thought maybe you have something important to tell me. Like, were you a huge dancing beetle? Let me know, Audie. Do we have red visiting? It's not red. It is... I don't remember if we saw them on the title screen or not. In fact, I think it can only be one of the Gullivers, right? Hadn't we had LaBelle and Leif today? This week. No, wait, hold on. What day is it today? Today's Tuesday, isn't it? Never mind. Anyway, we have a wandering visitor, but that's not the point. The point is, it's been taking up so much real estate in my mind. It's kind of weird. Because usually, I mentioned this yesterday, I'm trying to think how to phrase this. I don't care much for bad media properties. And you might say, well, no one does. Well, no, that's not true, because I think the definition of bad is a bit like, loose nowadays, should you say? Because, you know, there's things like cult classics, or cult classic, whatever, enjoyable movies, which are bad, for example, like The Room, by Tommy Wiseau, I can't remember. But movies like that, which are in the so bad it's good category, which I think most people would just, you know, traditionally call bad, because as a movie from a critic standpoint, which in my view, how you should review it would be like, would the majority of people like this or not? And if the majority of people wouldn't like it, it's bad or whatever, or I don't know. To be honest, I don't know what standards you should really review things like movies and whatever video games too. But it's just the way I sort of reconcile in my mind, as I always do it to the standard of how many people in general populace would enjoy this, or that sort of thing. And if lots of people would enjoy it, then it becomes good. Now, you might say that's not really how it works, because you need to take it from a critical standpoint of evaluation of like the techniques and the directions they use, and how much they break the norm, and when they break the norm, and if they execute it well, that sort of thing. Okay, well, I don't really know about that, so that's quite hard for me to reconcile in my mind. As I suppose a metric to compare things to. But I would say that usually, like, this is a thing that I feel like I talked to Ali about before. I'm not interested in watching a bad movie, even if it's a movie like The Room, which is so bad it's good, because I'd rather watch a movie which I think is good, or like, but I don't think everyone agrees with me on that, which is fair enough, because I can see the appeal in watching a movie so bad it's good. It's just, for me, a lot of the time I'm just like, why do I watch a movie which is so bad it's good when I could just watch a movie which is so good it's good, you know? Which is, I mean, say, while other people take pleasure in just sort of, I suppose, laughing and ridiculing the badness of a movie which takes itself too seriously, or maybe it's just an absolute cacophony of errors and that sort of thing, I'm just like, I don't know, that doesn't interest me as much. I suppose I'd rather see something excel in its own merits rather than excel unintentionally, sort of like bumble its way to being enjoyable. I must not say necessarily I don't enjoy it, it's just like, I suppose my desire to watch it in the first place is not there. it's how to phrase it. So that's sort of like where I stood for, well, I feel like I still stand there a majority of the time, but about like 90% of the time, if you want to be like, hey, do you want to watch this bad movie, it's so bad it's good, I'll be like, nah, I'm alright, thanks. Unless it's like, you know, the whole group, I mean, this is like context, without context, I suppose, just like in a vacuum. I'll be like, nah, I'm alright, you go ahead. I mean, I don't even watch, and to be fair, it might be related to the fact that I don't watch movies much in the first place, so if I'm going to watch a movie, I want to watch one which is good. So let's extend that to video games. Would I play a video game which is so bad it's good? I still think the answer is no in most situations. Like, I'm trying to imagine it. Like, if someone was like, hey, do you want to play Deadly Premonition? I'm like, No, probably not. But the thing is, I wouldn't mind watching someone play it, because I suppose then I'm doing it through. I get to enjoy the badness of it without necessarily having to wrestle with the things that actually make it bad in a video game, which is, you know, bad controls or like nauseating motion sickness and that sort of thing. But only if the person who was playing it I was watching is also someone I like to watch. In this case, I'm basically narrowing myself down to I like to watch Northern Lion playing bad games because he's amusing and entertaining when watching it. So it's not so much I'm doing it for the video game, it's more like the video game gives a medium for which the person who's playing it can be entertaining and bounce things like that off of, if that makes sense. Which might not make sense to you, because I'm not even sure if that makes sense to me. Does that make sense? Oh well, doesn't really matter. Oh, we don't even need to do fossils anymore, because Flip gave us his photo, didn't he? Do we have a fossil mission? Let's see if we have a fossil mission. We'll just like sell them. We don't even have a fossil mission. Okay, we'll just sell it. Who cares? I don't need to evaluate it. I don't need those 3,000 bells or whatever. Yeah, but so that's where I stand. Where I'm not, when I say a bad game, I feel like there's two definitions of bad. Bad from like a critical sense, and like the way Balan Wonderland is Balan Wonderworld is considered bad critically because of, you know, bad controls and bad design, not unenjoyable design. But it doesn't mean it's not enjoyable. And I feel like the definition I use for bad most of the time is not enjoyable to me. So when I say but the general consensus of how you meant to use bad is when it's not from a more critical, objective standpoint. Whether it's execution or not necessarily just execution, I suppose that's a bit reductive, but you know what I mean. Hopefully, if you don't, then you're sort of just like, and in which case you'll unfortunately just have to be confused. What was I saying? Sorry, it was a bit of distraction there. What was I talking about? Some about bad games. Oh yeah, I feel like I'm aware of the irony. I'm talking about like, oh well, I don't think I'd play bad games, and here I am playing my numerous gacha games or whatever, which are, you know, well renowned. Not necessarily for being bad, but for using like not great systems or whatever. But I feel like it's more. Did I say this already? I can't remember. It's more to do with like a different definition of bad, I suppose, because the way I see bad in my eyes is like unenjoyable. And you know, I play the games which I like, even if necessarily like objectively the game systems they have are not good or whatever. But if something like I'm invested, do I need KK soon? I don't think so. If I need if I like the series or if I like designs and everything, I'll still enjoy the game anyway, despite not necessarily having the best gameplay. And I feel like that goes for the same for a lot of people. You know, it just kind of depends what you look for in a game. Some people really like graphics, some people really like just core gameplay, and it could look like absolutely nothing as long as the core gameplay is fine. They'll just feel like this is a good game. But I suppose that's more to do with my own definition of bad being unenjoyable and good being enjoyable, which is, you know, I should just use the words enjoyable and unenjoyable instead, right? That kind of makes more sense. Just to avoid any confusion, but I don't know, I suppose this bad is such a loaded word, bad and good. That is very sort of like up in the air, but if you say a game is bad, that sort of gives a suggestion that, oh, you know, you can't like this game. Or if you like this game, there's something wrong with you. Like your taste, you know, that's obviously not something I subscribe to. So, you know, I'm going to continue using good and bad in my own way of meaning enjoyable and unenjoyable. So yeah, I guess I would say, oh yeah, no, because I was talking about Balan Wonderworld, that's right. It's a critically bad game, I suppose, is what I mean to say by like critics using objective measures to try and judge its goodness of a game, which now I think about it, I guess critics are just trying to show probabilistically whether you'll like the game or not. Because I'm sure there's people out there who play Balan Wonderworld and like, oh, this is a fantastic game, this is my favourite game. But just from a more objective standpoint, it's not a good game. And I don't mean to rag on it so much, I'm sorry, because there's people who worked hard on this game, there's like a labour of love and that sort of thing, and I'm sure they're free of guilt or anything, and it kind of sucks that the game they ended up producing is not good. Maybe it's because of deadlines or that sort of thing, or maybe, you know, maybe the devs are just like, wow, this is the best thing ever, I can't believe people don't like it. It's the children who are wrong, that sort of thing. In which case maybe this comment doesn't age so well, but still. I don't know what my point was in all of this. I had a point. Yeah, I just find it amusing how much I'm thinking about Balan Wonderworld, despite it being a critically bad game, and me usually not favouring playing critically bad games. But I suppose I also don't favour critically good games now I think about it as well. Like, I've had Breath of the Wild since I first got a Switch, which was ages ago. And it's just been sitting unplayed by me, I should say, in my Nintendo Switch case or whatever. Why? No good reason. I know it's a fantastically amazing game. I'll probably enjoy it, and I know I in fact enjoy it because now I've played Genshin Impact, which is meant to be a Breath of the Wild gacha style game, and I enjoyed that a lot. I almost certainly enjoyed Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. But I suppose it's sort of just been enlightening to me of what makes a good and bad game for me personally, or what I should say makes an enjoyable and unenjoyable game for me personally. And it tends to be, you know, it lives or dies by its characters for me. Or not lives or dies necessarily, but having good characters in it, which not necessarily they had to be amazingly well written, but characters which I see the appeal of, I suppose. Now hold on, that makes it sound much more sus than I meant. Characters which basically I like, I suppose, whether through design, through personality, or other means, story, like who they are, I don't know. Can be a big boost to the game, in my own eyes. Which is an interesting thing to come to a conclusion of, because that means I can end up liking bad quote games. But to be fair, I think I'm a hypocrite in this aspect because I don't tend to play if a game is badly reviewed, I probably won't go out and buy it or anything or give it the time of day, despite the fact I'm well aware of the fact that there's a decent chance I'll like it if it's a game which is heavily story focused or that sort of thing, or character based. Which you know, I guess that's something for me to work on myself. I don't really know. It seems a bit dramatic because it's just sort of game preference rather than anything deeper than that. We don't need any of these, I don't think. Yeah, that seems right. And yeah, so I am part of me is just like, oh, I really want to try I can't remember what it's called anymore, Balan Wonderworld, just because it's so amusing. And I suppose the reason that I'm like so invested in wanting to try it is because I feel like I get it now. I feel like I get the appeal of something being so bad it's good, because a lot of times it's sort of not like it goes over my head, because I like to think I'm a decently empathetic person. I can sort of relate to that sort of situation. I can understand where people are coming from when they say, oh, it's so bad it's good, but I never actually like properly felt it or something. Like I have no desire to watch Room. I've seen scenes on Room, I'm just like, and people find it hilarious and love it, despite the fact it's obviously like not well acted or that sort of thing. I'm just like, I just can't get into it. I'm trying to think of other bad video games. Like Deadly Premonition, I suppose, is a bad video game, but it's enjoyable quirkiness of it. So I guess that's the closest it's been. But I feel like a lot of my enjoyment, I wouldn't ever play it. I think I mentioned before, I would watch someone play it. In this case, Northern Lion, I watched him play it. That one and the second one, but I would never play it myself. But this is the first one. It's sort of like, maybe it's the sort of thing I need to experience for myself. And it's the first time where experiencing it for myself is like, wow, this is truly different, I suppose. I feel like I'm being a little bit overly dramatic about that sort of thing, but still, I suppose like it feels like I'm in the in-joke now, you know? I'm part of it. I'm like, I get it now. I get the so bad it's good feeding that these sort of games give. And maybe from that, I could broaden my own horizons because I'd say there's always golden nuggets lying within bad games or bad media properties in general. I just talk about games because that's more relevant to my hobbies. I don't really watch movies or listen to much music in the first place, but there's always nuggets of good things hiding in bad things, you know? It's rare to find a situation where something is just wholly and utterly bad in every aspect. Normally it's like it's let down a lot in certain areas and thus ruins the experience, spoils the experience as a whole. Well, that's what I think. I don't know if that's necessarily true, because things which are bad in all areas, I can't think of a thing which is terrible in all areas, which would actually be something which people say is so bad it's good. Because if it's bikers are more fun. Is this Mira? I guess. Something which is bad in all areas, I guess, in my mind, is also something which is not enjoyable, which is, I suppose, dependent on how you define bad in all areas, isn't it? Orange lilies, where can we put this down? Not here. Not there, because that's where yellow flower goes. Not here. Not there. Here. Took a little bit of finagling, but we got it. yeah, something bad in all areas, in my mind, is also bad in the area of being enjoyable. Which I suppose kind of defeats the point, because if that's how I define things to be good or bad in the first place, it's a bit cyclical, isn't it? In its own definitions. Which is not really what I meant, but that's how, hey, that's how we ended up. Where is Mira? Have we seen Mira walking about? I'm trying to think if we have, and I don't think we have. Or have we? Have we got the person in crafting? With Mountain Standy, that was from a bottle. Okay, so we haven't seen whoever's crafting. Oh, there you are, Mira. Never mind. What do I know? Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I suppose it's a curiosity. Because I do conceptually get something being so bad it's good. I'm trying to think of other games out there which are so bad it's good. It's just, I feel like it's different when it comes to video games, because video games you're actually experiencing it firsthand, you're controlling or whatever, blah blah blah. It's interactive, an interactive medium per se. So rather than being a movie where you can sort of passively let it happen and then just watch it, yeah, you can passively consume a media property. Okay, more Vivian's asleep. Let's not wake her. I'd recommend sleeping on your bed, Vivian, if you want to go to take a nap. But what do I know? I suppose. And wait, villagers can't. Yeah, villagers can't even sleep on beds. That's crazy. They should probably put that in as an animation. Or maybe they don't want to because they think it would. Some people would end up with some very strange screenshots, which, you know, I guess is kind of fair enough. You know what? I don't think that's fair enough, Nintendo. That's not a good enough reason. Straw man Nintendo I've invented in my mind. Who on earth is crafting? Yeah, so I get the appeal of... How many times have I said this? I get the appeal of things being so bad it's good. I guess this is just the first time I kind of want to get my hands on it the first time as well. Obviously I'm not going to buy it. Unless it goes on sale for an incredible amount, because it's $60. I feel like I should talk about it a bit more. There's more I wanted to say about it, but I can't remember what I talked about yesterday. Oh, did I talk about the fact that it has collectibles in it? Which is, you know, fair enough. It's kind of part of, course, an action, 3D action adventure platformer to have be a sort of collector fun. But one of the ways to collect these golden statues is you'd think, hey, what would be a more suitable way? How about platforming adventures? Okay, yeah, you know, you got some of that. How about exploration secrets? You know, you got a little bit of that as well. Lily was not crafting, from what I remember, and Bruce is not inside, so it's only Rowan. It can only be Rowan or Audie. No, Audie's walking about, isn't she? I think so. What? Maybe Audie isn't walking about? Oh, Jakey. I forgot Jakey. Yeah, but anyway, my point is, one of the golden collectibles, like where you collect them, is you basically had to do this really weird quick time event, I suppose. Little thing where you got... it shows you a cutscene of Balan, you know, beating up, from what I can tell, was a meteor? I don't really know. And then you just had to press A at the right time when, like, an onion skin version of him, like, overlays with the actual version of him. A shell arch? Apparently we didn't know how to make this, I don't know what it is, but sure. And the thing is, you had to get like an excellent rating to actually get the statue, and if you fail it, it just disappears and you had to exit out of the level and then come back into it and make it there again to have another attempt, which is just horrible game design, or I should say it's unfriendly game design, I suppose. And not to say that you can't use unfriendly game design sometimes to evoke a bit of challenge, you know, Dark Souls. You could argue that. Are you thinking? Audie's thinking. There's some unfriendly game design with how punishing it is. Yeah, we'll deliver it to Vivian. But it's unfriendly game design for a reason, you know. It's meant to be something adversarial to you that you fight as the player. To eventually overcome. In this case, it just seems tedious, doesn't it? I know, I've had my run-in with unfriendly game design before, I suppose, in Witness, you know. One of the infamous environmental secret. If you haven't played Witness, I guess spoilers, warning. But there's a secret which takes an hour to complete. Okay, you can uncover your ears now. I guess you wouldn't hear that if you covered it in the first place. Which is obviously just unfriendly game design in the first place. But it's sort of just like a weird meta commentary on the whole thing, I suppose, which is, you know, part of course a Witness. Prey into the minds of completion for video gamers. A striped dress. I mean, this sounds like it looked good on you, Vivian, to be honest. It looks okay. I'm not sure if it fits your style, but You know, anything to add to your repertoire of clothing. Why not? Why not? I say. A plover cardigan. Or we chat with Audie and be like, oh, we did it. And then what will we do for the remaining 10 minutes? That is a good question. I don't have anything lined up. But yeah, I know. What other things happen in Bad and Wonderworld? It's mind-boggling, I suppose. To say the least. I just love the fact that how unexplained the story is. And it has you're meant to infer everything from a story, which is not necessarily a bad thing from the cutscenes, which is not necessarily a bad thing, especially in an action platformer where, you know, story doesn't necessarily take front stage. Mechanics does, but you know, mechanics aren't good in the first place, so it's kind of like, okay, what else have we got going for us? I don't actually know what happens when you say I don't remember. I suppose that's what you're meant to say if you say the clothing item looks bad. But I say it looks good all the time, you know, because I'm a people pleaser. What was I saying? Bad and Wonderworld? Yeah, who came up with the idea for them to have cutscenes and then only play them immediately before the boss and immediately after the boss? It's not like a 101 how to not get your player invested in any of the characters. It's so strange. It's just so strange. And the dance numbers don't like that. I don't even know what to say about the dance numbers. They're so bizarre. Just so strangely bizarre and over the top and theatrical that I kind of love it, which is probably why. I've got such a desire to play it now. How are we going to do these flowers? I haven't really thought about that, have I? I don't know indeed. I guess we should scatter the flowers about. We scatter them about with weeds. These black flowers. I mean, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Put some flowers down, put some weeds down. And then all the other gaps we fill up with transparency things or our own little designs. I don't know what to do. Give us a little occult area. We just don't have anything suitable to put it down. I wonder if we could put down a cool fossil to look like an occult thing. Let's see if anyone's done this Animal Crossing occult. Like shrine or something. Animal Crossing cult. Not cultural appropriation. Probably occult. It's a bit better. Stone table. Axe. They got occult patterns. That's inside, I can't do that. I need something outside. Witchy Island tour. This is probably not something I should do, like now. Oh, that's interesting. They put like Eldritch designs on the bottom. Whoa, Demon Portal. That looks pretty cool. We should absolutely do this. How do we do this? Profile code. The design costs 25 tiles. What? How many custom design slots do I have? I mean, I got quite a lot, so I don't know what I'm really worried about. Oh, I forgot we got these ones. The Discon and Pentagram. Let's see if we can save this. So let's access the portal. Credit to Lord Natu on Reddit. You can download it yourself, I suppose. Okay, we got to find their profile, apparently. Yeah, no, Bad and Wonderworld. Strange game. This is a strange game. The strangest game I want to play. Kind of. I mean, I don't want to get my hopes up because there's something about like latching on to the idea of wanting to play rather than actually playing it, because otherwise you might know, you might play it and be like, oh, this actually kind of sucks and I don't want to play it anymore. And I'll just be like, oh, I kind of ruined it all. Oh my god, it's going to take so long to save this. Overwrite it. We're going to have to do it one by one. Oh my god, that's fine. We've got 5 minutes. As long as we get into the room of it. We can actually have a mini pentagram, I suppose, in our design slots. That's a bit strange. But yes, credit to Lord Natu. It was fantastic design. I clicked on it because I looked at a preview picture and I was like, oh, that looks good. That looks like exactly what I wanted, just like a big summoning circle. Now we need to put some candles around here. and fulfill the demon-esque portion of it. Which one do we just save? I don't remember. What else do I have to say about Battle Wonderworld? But there's more things I wanted to talk about. I felt like I was on such a roll talking about it yesterday, but you know, obviously a whole day's passed since then. I can't really remember what I was talking about. There's a lot of conversational momentum that I had with it. I'm also really hungry. I'm not gonna lie. I don't often get hungry, so it's a bit strange. This part actually go, yeah. Also, I'm going to thank them as well for also uploading this all in order. So it's quite nice to easily put down. And I guess we'll probably won't have enough time to put it down today, but we can put it down tomorrow. Or something. Because, you know, really stretching out what I've got to do each day. We should really find some more design slots to really spice up our island. Or designs that people have uploaded, but I just can't be bothered. Got lots to do. And unfortunately, Animal Crossing island designing, does not take up so much of it. And at some point, you know, we're going to run out of things to do on Animal Crossing once we finish fully designing the island, in which case the only thing I've got left is basically to, like, fish and catch bugs. Which is fine, but it's just like, there's no rush, I suppose. To complete the Animal Crossing designs. Take it slow. Slowly, slowly. Yeah, I don't know. Do I have anything else to say about that sort of Battle Wonderworld? I feel like I do. Just like something on the tip of my tongue being like, yes, this is what I wanted to add to that conversation. Not that I can think of it, but I'm sure there's something. Just hold on. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Let's give it a sec. I really can't remember. Oh! I wanted to talk about some of the power-ups, I remember. And I remember this is one I heard about actually before the game came out, and I heard about it from a demo. I think it was from a demo, I can't remember. But it was a power-up called Boxfox. Or Foxbox? I can't remember. Not Boxbox. Foxbox. No, Boxfox. I think it's Boxfox. And I heard about it because it actually like appeared on my Twitter feed or whatever. And it's the strangest power-up I've ever heard. It's a power-up because, you know, they've got the whole one-button thing going on in Battle Wonderworld. They wanted this power-up to clearly be able to jump. Okay, fair enough. In any other game, you would just be like, oh, you have a separate jump button and a separate ability button, so it's completely fine. Of course, in Battle Wonderworld, it's like, oh, no, we can't do that, because we've assigned everything to one button. Boss, why don't we, you know, increase our budget and allow more buttons to be used? What absolute nonsense. No. One button only. Otherwise people get confused. Too many deck slots. That's a Hearthstone reference for you there. An old one. What was I saying? Yeah, you know what a power-up is? You can transform into an invincible metal box. Oh, okay, you know, sounds pretty good. You can, I know, maybe dodge attacks with it. But, you know, how do you control it? Because that's what you were talking about before. There's only one button, and you can already jump with that one singular button you got. You know, it randomly does it whenever it wants. What? Yeah, you know, you just sort of be playing, and then you'll just randomly turn into an invincible metal box, and you'll lose all control of your character, and you'll slide off the edge, probably, of the world. Why? Why would you use that? I don't know. It's like, what? I get the concept of having, like, a joke power-up, I suppose. But the kind of thing is you need the rest of the game around it to not also feel like a joke, for a joke power-up to really have that sort of punch of effect. You know, I've always, you know, a joke power-up in a good game, sort of just like, the devs knew what they were doing with this. They put a joke in here to subvert expectations. A joke power-up in a joke game? Why? Just strange. Oh, I forgot to see what the character's name was in this, so you can see if this out. So here you go, 4489. 46441472. Thank you. Let's see. Nacho, apparently. I guess that's the person they used to save the design patterns. But yes, also known as Lord Natu on Animal Crossing. Oh, there's a whole subreddit for this, Animal Crossing QR codes. Interesting. Maybe I should use that. There we go, we can put this demon circle thing here when we feel like it, but for now, I guess we'll end up this episode here. I don't know. You got any bad media properties you like? So bad it's so good? Sort of things? Let me know. Would I watch them? Probably not. I suppose if you've listened to this entire half an hour video. If you listen to this half an hour video, what? can't believe it. You've made it this far. That's crazy. It's just astonishing to me that someone would want to listen to me ramble for half an hour. But anyway, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, all greatly appreciated. Links down below. Hope we can see each other again. But for now, sorry, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.